Okay, we are going to talk about the art of detachment. And it has taken me, this is my third try. Because, oh, Lord. I've been struggling with the last two. Okay? So, here's a story in itself. This is how you learn the art of detachment. Okay? The last two videos, I was trying so hard to control how I was seen, what was done, how I was saying things, what people were going to think about what I was talking about. I was trying to control how it turned out. All of these things I was trying to control. The main point was I was trying to control. In this one, I give up. Granted, I did need to go sit down and eat something because, I was hungry. So that helped a lot. Just so you know. But part of the point that I'm making in this is that you have to get fed up to the point of where you just stop caring. And for some people, if you've been in very toxic relationships or you have grown up in toxic households, your ability to withstand a lot is pretty high. Your tolerance is pretty high because of the fact that you've put up with a lot. So you have to be able to, you have to get to a breaking point. You have to be able to, as you learn the art of detachment, you have to lower that bar more and more and more. So, for example, if you were in a marriage and you were cheated on repeatedly over and over, and you just forgave that person, and you forgave that person, and you forgave that person, all of that, if that was you, your tolerance level is really high. You're willing to forgive and let things go very easily, meaning that you're willing to go ahead and allow people to walk all over you. So that's because it's been programmed in you since you were a small child. You either watched people do it or you experienced it yourself. So you have to get to the point of where enough is enough. That's where your level of self-love and self-respect step in, and you just say, I'm not putting up with this anymore. And that's whenever you detach from that person, from that situation. It's a skill learned as you go through life, to be able to detach from anybody and anything, really just letting go of control of whatever happens. It's the same concept of not giving any F's. You don't care anymore about whether that relationship works out, whether you get that job, whether or not you care if people are gossiping about you, what your image is. It's letting go of it. And so it's one of those things that you have to practice over and over and over again. So you have to just stop caring. You have to stop caring. You have to stop worrying about whether somebody's going to take you the wrong way. You have to stop worrying about whether or not people are going to like you. It's having faith in the divine, or having faith in yourself. It's having more faith in yourself than anything, because you'll make it through anything and everything that is thrown at you, and you just disconnect. You free fall. It's a skill that you have to learn in manifestation. If you want to manifest things to happen, You have to detach from the outcome. You have to let go of caring whether or not you actually get it. Because if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But we all care way too much about getting something, about something, you know, having something, having the house, having the car, having the good job, you know. We care so much about having the good relationship or whatever it may be. We care so much because we hold attachment to whether or not it actually is going to, you know, make us feel better, make us, you know, it's going to make our life better in some way. When really and truly it's just about being grateful and happy in where you are and who you are in that moment. So, when it comes to detachment, it's letting go of control of whether you can control the outcome of whether something goes right or whether something goes wrong. In relationships, letting go of whether or not that person's going to be with you or not, you know. If they don't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you. Why try and manipulate and control whether that person likes you or not? If somebody cannot like you for who you are, then what's the point? It doesn't matter. If it's being okay no matter what happens. Like this whole thing that I'm doing right now, I have no idea. I'm not going to cut and edit and do all of that stuff, and I'm not going to worry about it because of the fact that I'm going to just get it out as it is. I'm working on my own level of detachment on what the outcome is and perfectionism. So, for me, I grew up having to care way too much about everything and anything. I grew up caring way too much and having to learn over and over and over about letting go of control of caring what other people think. Having a level of detachment is being so centered in who you are that nothing can shake you. When you're letting go of control of you trying to control things, you have to also realize that you're letting go of control of having other people being able to control you. When you learn the level of detachment, it's not just you being in control and you wanting to try and control every little thing and every little relationship and every little thing. It's also turned around to where other people can't control you. You know how great that feeling is? Whenever people try to manipulate you and you see it instantly and you're just like, oh, okay, that guy is insecure about himself, and to make himself feel better and make himself feel like he is important, he is trying to triangulate me against some other woman to try and get a rise out of me and make me want to chase him so that he can feel good about himself and feel secure within himself, even though he's insecure. It's being able to spot that and just be like, okay, bye. And not giving that person any kind of emotion. It's about people at work running around, gossiping about you, spreading lies, spreading rumors, people like family members running around talking crap about you, and you just being like, okay, and why do I care? Like, I know who I am, and if somebody else wants to listen to the rumors and the gossip and all of that crap, go for it. Please, by all means. You listening to somebody else spread gossip and rumors about me tells me a lot more about you. Tells me that you can't think for yourself and you will trust anything and everything that you are told and believe it without fact checking, without actually going up to that person saying, hey, you know what I heard about you? Is this true? Instead, you're going to believe what somebody else says, and that in turn tells me that you're not someone that I really even want to be friends with, because if you're someone that believes everything you're told about someone else, you're a sheeple. You're a sheep. You're a follower. You're not a free thinker. You're not someone that actually I want to be around. It's learning that people are going to try and control other people and things and situations and whatever it may be, because of the fact that they themselves have been controlled and have had their power taken away. So they have learned themselves that true power, what their idea of true power is. True power is, taking power from others. When in all reality, true power is being a sovereign human being and not being controlled by other people. Not letting other people control you. True power is not caring at all what the outcome's going to be, what people think, and whether or not something goes the way you want it to go. True power is letting go of control and allowing things to just fall into place. Putting yourself out there and trying new things, and if they don't end up, they don't end up. That's true power. And so, detachment, truly and honestly, is one of the things that you can do in detachment. And it's one of those things that you have to learn what the feeling of detachment is. The feeling, confirmation there. The feeling of detachment. It's a very, very subtle feeling. Like, you have to really hone in on it and hold it. It's a frequency. It's a feeling that you get when enough is enough. When you hit your breaking point and you can't take any more. That is the feeling of detachment. That little break. That moment before you snap. And when I say snap, sometimes we overreact. Sometimes we hit our breaking point and then we freak out. It's not the freak out. It's that middle ground. It's that little spot, that little area in between where you just are I can't do this anymore. And this is the key. This is the key. That moment before you react, you don't react. You hold it. You hold it. You don't give a reaction, you just hold that feeling. So, for example, I'm going to use one of a relationship because it's one of the easiest ones that most people can identify with, I would say. So, say you're in a relationship and you've just been treated poorly over and over and over and over and over again by this person. That person that has constantly disregarded your feelings, that has constantly done things to push your boundaries, to make you feel inferior, and you finally hit that breaking point of where enough is enough and you are done with this person. You have lost all emotional connection with this person. You have pretty much hit that limit of where you just don't care anymore. You're done. You're out of it. There's no emotional attachment at all. That moment where the emotions stop, where you have finally hit your breaking point, that's the moment of detachment. Because once you don't care anymore, about that person anymore, you're fine to walk away. You don't care whether or not anything happens further with that person. Now, this is where, in the moment, like, things are gonna, like, come up. Like, the second guessing yourself, we'll see, they're a good person and maybe they were just having a bad day. Maybe they grew up, maybe they were taught that, these people, like, that person, they had a rough childhood. When you are giving excuses, you're making up these excuses for them. You're, like, just explaining it away. No. People know what they are doing to you. They are fully freaking aware of what they're doing to you. They just choose to not put your feelings into consideration. They are making that conscious choice. So, you have to take into account the fact that when people choose to be that way to you, it's a choice. And you have a choice to walk away. So, that second guessing, the excuses, and this is a good one, the good times, like, when you are picking out the little breadcrumbs, the little pieces that are considered good times, were they really good times? Or were they just pieces of breadcrumbs that they were giving you to try and make you think that they cared? Giving you little pieces of breadcrumbs to make you, still want to stay so that they could still keep playing their games. Because they enjoyed having you around because you were a fun little toy to mess with. When you were, fun to, like, manipulate and, try and, like, get a rise out of and to toy with. Like a little cat with a little mouse. When getting a rise out of playing with you and toying with you and manipulating you, when they stop being able to do that, and you become no more fun because of the fact that you're not giving them that little rush that they get from getting a rise out of you, from getting some kind of emotional high out of you, that good times, letting go of all of that. That's programming. All of those things that you are doing, that second guessing, the excuses and the good times, that's all programming that we have learned to stay in toxicity. To, constantly believe that something is worth staying in. It's our programming that we have learned to be able to, withstand crappy situations. So, detachment, the art of detachment, is this beautiful feeling. I think it's a beautiful feeling. I love it because of the fact that it's gray rock and cold heart. Gray rock is what they use to describe whenever you are not giving any kind of emotion to any person. Gray rock is when you have a neutral face and a neutral tone and a neutral body language. So it's just kind of like, okay. And it's not giving them anything to feed off of. It's like for energy vampires, as they call energy vampires. It's more or less people. Energy vampires are more or less people that feed off of some kind of emotional energy that you are giving, whether it is anger, whether it's love, whether it's you know, I'm trying to think of other emotions. Pity. That was a big one. Covert narcissists love that one. That is prime. Oh, my life is so horrible. Please feel bad for me. I feed off of that. Or, you know, whenever they do nice things to you to try and get love from you, when they're just, you know, that's all they're trying to do, is they're just trying to manipulate energy out of you. But, so, what I mean by that one is, the gray rock. That's what they mean by gray rock, but I like to say cold heart. So, cold heart, it doesn't mean that your heart is cold regardless. It does not mean that you are always cold-hearted. It just means that you go cold heart with specific people because they're trying to manipulate some kind of feeling out of you. So, sorry, I'm laughing because of something that I'm going to bring up in a minute. Okay. Now, with cold heart, it's kind of like with Frozen, you know, how in Frozen, and I hate that I'm having to use this reference because, like, it's so cliche, but at the same time, it's very much like that, like the Elsa kind of cold heart. Like, she's done, she's fed up, she goes off and she, like, does her thing, where she goes off and she's like, I'm done with this. The cold never bothered me anyways. That kind of mentality. And I know it sounds silly, but at the same time, it's about freezing up your heart so that nobody can sit there and try and toy with it. But you don't have to actually do it with some people. So it's learning to manipulate that energy where you can do it around some people and then you can unthaw it around other people. It's a very subtle energy shift, and it's learning to alternate it between different people and in different situations. And it's an art where you learn to, you know, use it for specific people that you know are trying to mess with your energy and are trying to manipulate you. So, I say that, and the reason why I laughed is because of the fact that then I add on to the fact that this is where the shadow part comes in. This is where your shadow comes in. This is where you then start to use this kind of mentality on your abusers. So, on those people that are out there trying to energy manipulate and are trying to, you know, and energy vampires, and are trying to play with you and are trying to, you know, are trying to attach to you in some way. They're trying to, you know, create cords to you so that they can, you know, feed off of you and also connect with you so that they can be friends, you know, because of course, you know, they see that you have something that they want, and so they're trying to connect cords with you. So the thing with that is that this is where I like my shadow will turn around and play the game with them. So, what I mean by that is that sometimes you need to give back to them what they give to you. As a Heyoka empath, I am a mirror to a lot of people. And so I will give to them what they give to me. What I mean by that is that sometimes they need a dose of their own medicine in order for them to wake up. Okay? So, we'll put it right there. Give back what they give to you. Some people need to experience exactly what they are doing, because sometimes they need to see into the mirror. They need to see what they themselves have been doing, and it's like a wake up call to how toxic they really have been. Now, this only really does work on people that are empathic and have had toxic people in their lives that they've learned from, and they aren't fully aware of their toxicity because they haven't really looked within and deep on that toxicity and said, hey, wait a minute, what I'm doing, because not everybody self-reflects. Not everybody goes and like says, hey, what am I doing that is, being a really crappy person? Some people just don't do that. Okay. Most, I would say, if they are a true narcissistic person, they don't care. Narcissist, psychopath, sociopath, all of those cluster B personality types, they don't care. They honestly they're like, okay. But true empathic people will feel something. And when they see it, that's whenever they want to make a shift. Whenever they say, oh, I didn't like that. Why didn't I like that? Oh, I myself have been doing that. I don't feel good about that. Now, detachment with that, how do I word this? So, it's letting go of caring whether or not that person actually feels anything about it. Sometimes you just have to give them a dose of their own medicine and then be able to walk away. And be able to say, okay, I did my job. But detachment, I know I'm coming around and going full circle and everything like that and looping around again, but the main point that I want to make with detachment is that it's an art that you have to learn, because it encompasses every single thing. There's so many subcategories for it. There's so many different things that it is used within. And so it's a skill that is definitely needed whenever it comes to anything in life. Anything. It's a skill that it protects your energy whenever you are dealing with anybody and anything. Even right now with myself, learning to detach from whether or not things go right with whatever I have that's happening in my time right now. Detaching whether or not I have a good day at work. Detaching whether or not anybody clicks on this video and if they like it or not, it's a skill that is very detrimental in your life when you're trying to heal, especially when you're trying to heal. It's also a really big tool in when you're doing shadow work and you're having to go into those deep dark places and you're trying to integrate your shadow and your light, and you're trying to really work with different deities and different like gods and goddesses, and detaching from whether or not what the outcome's going to be, or if you try to push too hard to achieve something, it's just a lot of resistance. And so therefore, detaching from it and saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to be good either way, it's a skill that is definitely needed. So I hope this helped anybody, because I know that I feel like I just rambled for a while, and hopefully it connects. If not, then I don't give a F. I'm going to detach from it anyways. So, like, share, subscribe if you want. If you don't want to, then that's okay with me. I'm not going to tell you what to do. And yeah, have a great rest of your day.